News out of Coca-Cola this morning, the company realigning its 17 business units into a 9-unit structure and planning to offer buyout packages to 4,000 workers. Sarah Eisen just spoke with Coke's CEO, and she joins us now on the Squawk Newsline with some more detail and color. Sarah, what did you hear? What's behind this move?
Good morning, Mike. I think the biggest headline from James Quincy, the CEO of Coca-Cola, about this restructuring is it's not driven by the pandemic, he tells me. It was sped up by the pandemic, but the effort is to set Coca-Cola up for future growth. So here's what Coke is announcing today. Those 17 business units go to 9 under 4 geographies. They're trying to get leaner. They're trying to get faster to market. And the ultimate priority here is they're trying to get better marketing. And yes, there will be layoffs as a result of these changes. 4,000 jobs are eligible in North America, the U.S., Puerto Rico, Canada, which is actually a sizable chunk of employees. They have about 10,800 in the region, so as many as 35% eligible for layoffs here. Now, Coca-Cola CEO James Quincy says they are trying to get back to growth, evolving the way they do marketing, more scaled winners, how they digitize the company and data analytics, flatter operation, all of these things behind it. I asked him if it was about the weakness they've seen. Coca-Cola has half of its business outside the home, so it really got slammed on the lockdowns and restaurants and stadiums closing. He said he sticks by what he said last quarter, which was April was the bottom, and they continue to see steadily improving volumes as economies open up. Quincy tells me, I think COVID will pass. This is really about setting ourselves up, and these discussions began as early as January, guys, before the pandemic. It's just allowed them to really focus on a few number of brands. They have more than 400. Less than half of those contribute mostly to revenue. And that's where the focus is going to be on marketing and on growth. And so there's going to be a lot of readjustments here on the way that they're announcing today.
Yes, Sarah, I was going to ask you, in terms of the streamlining, what does it say about the company's priorities in terms of categories, types of products that they want to get more behind, and what might fall by the wayside?
The growth category. So remember, last quarter, Quincy told me they're going to be looking to get rid of zombie companies. And we've already seen them make some moves on this front. Odwalla, for instance, the juice brand, no longer. They're just not focusing. They're going to focus on the big drivers, the Coca-Colas, obviously, and some of the growth areas like a Topo Chico, for instance. This has no effect. You might be happy to know, or maybe Andrew would be happy to know, that Topo Chico hard seltzer is still scheduled to come as soon as September next year in the U.S., which is something that I announced a few weeks ago. So the focus really is on growth and on brands that are working. It's not necessarily on a retrenchment by Coca-Cola. That was the main point. It doesn't have any impact, for instance, on their plans for M&A and on their plans to invest behind the brands. That's all on track. It's just a more sort of focused. Think about it like what P&G did to get rid of its matrix structure a year or so ago to make it a faster, quicker operating machine. These huge companies, and Coca-Cola has, something like 80,000 employees worldwide, are just becoming more focused and more driven during the pandemic, which has put a sharper focus on what's important for a lot of these big firms.